This one is on sensory overload. People have abused me my entire life for being different. They've bullied me my entire life for being different. They've stolen my things and gotten away with it because I'm different and because nobody's in my side. See, when I say nobody is on my side, I mean nobody is helping me get a lawyer. Nobody is helping me get a safe place. Sensory overload. I got PTSD from all the abuse that I endured growing up. So, people just ignore me and pretend those things didn't happen and I should be fine with it. Meanwhile, I begged these people to get it to stop, and I'm a villain for that. My mom threw me away repeatedly because drugs were more important to her, and money was more important to her than her own kids. All 4 of her kids have been locked up for her wrongdoing. My older brother, my little sister, and myself, all 4 of us. Now that video from Nicole Knudsen, she talks about how my brother was predatory towards her. He was predatory towards Amanda Engeline. Of course, Amanda Engeline had sex with my little brother. And Drake Chambers, because he had meth and she was addicted. I tried meth because I wanted my friends back, and, well, meth heads are paranoid of anybody who's not on meth. And all of my friends that weren't on meth had moved out of Chapel, Nebraska. Like Rihanna says, Chapel is a black hole. They got a long history of shitty cops. Officers who won't do their jobs. You know, the whole schizophrenic thing. People want to pretend like I'm schizophrenic as their excuse for backstabbing me. Is their excuse for assaulting me? Is their excuse why it's okay for these people to do the things they did to me? If I'm so schizophrenic, why am I able to show proof? I left my charger for this computer. This is the computer that Lana and Amanda kept up there. I wanted to take it with me because I really felt as if they were going to pull some shady shit. Especially with Lana being pissed off at about every goddamn thing. I mean, trying to find something that Lana wasn't pissed off at me about. Y'all women are bitches when you're rejected. Is every woman out there like that when they're rejected? You know, with Jamie Curtis, I never rejected her. I followed her rules, but she didn't. She said if a man has sex with a woman while she's drunk, he's a rapist. Even if she wants it. So she ran around and had sex with everybody but me while she was drunk. She said a few times to me that she wanted me to have sex with her, but she was drunk by that point. And then in the morning, she'd thank me for not having sex with her. What really messed me up was when she was trying to be mean, and she was telling me about the other guys that she had sex with. Like, please don't do that. Please don't. If I'm not worth a fuck, I don't want to hear about the guys that you had sex with. Especially since you had sex with them while you're drunk. You're basically telling me that these rapists were worth more than me. I was a yo-yo to her. Back and forth, back and forth. I'm good enough, I'm not. 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 Yeah, I was confused as fuck. I can't read your goddamn mind. Of course, it turned out I could. Not literally, but I was able to. I was able to tell what she was thinking. I knew what would happen if I couldn't bring myself to have sex with her when she was drunk. So, finally, the zipper incident. That's, after going through hell with her and for her, one day she said, Sean, we're going to get drunk and we're going to have sex. So we got drunk together. This is years and years after I quit drinking, but I figured, fuck it, it's worth a chance. I got drunk as a skunk. She got drunk as a skunk. She was outside dancing in the street with no shirt on in Chapel, Nebraska. This is over at the trailer house. And, so we went inside, and I had to go to the bathroom real bad. So I went to the bathroom, and I was pretty excited, you know. I mean, I was still a virgin at this point. And I zipped up myself. Started bleeding pretty bad. I wrapped it in toilet paper, and I went out, and she was naked as a jaybird with the exception of her panties. And all I could do, I sat down next to the ottoman. She said, if you were any slower, you'd be the Virgin Mary. And I didn't have it in me to tell her that my thing was wrapped in toilet paper because I'd zipped myself up. So I went back to work. I was helping to build a middle school in Windsor, Colorado. And I was afraid that was the end. I was afraid that I was going to lose my best friend. I was right. I was good to Jamie and the boy. So I went back to Chapel, Nebraska. I was having a severe panic attack about it. And I got there, and Jamie Curtis and Tracy Hodges, they had a conversation right in front of me like I wasn't even there about how they were gonna go have sex with some dude in Sidney, Nebraska, or Potter, Nebraska, and how me being there had fucked that up. She tore me down to nothing. I was still good to her after that. Now, when she told me that James Payton raped Jackie McKenzie, you know, I should have known better. Because when Jerry's son Donnie was having sex with Miss Jerry's co-worker, Miss Jerry was working at a youth center. She worked with preschoolers and kindergartners, really little kids, and even infants. And her coworker had sex with Donnie, and they came down to Chapel, Nebraska. And Jackie McKenzie turned that woman in. Go, Jackie! Yes! That's one of the reasons Ray Ray is my hero, too. She turned Doug Cowden in. So, I should have known it was bullshit. If people didn't want me telling their stories, they should have kept their word. They shouldn't have fucked with my head. They shouldn't have fucking destroyed my life. Jamie didn't destroy my life. Natalie did. Maddie did. And Alicia did. I blame those three in specific for not coming forward, not telling the truth. All of this that came after that was because a man doesn't get a fair chance. He doesn't get an honest chance when people accuse him of that shit. I should have had the right to confront my accusers. If I did those things, they should have taken me to court. Since I didn't do those things and I was being victimized as if I did, they should have asked these people to stop. Everything that has happened since then is because they didn't want to tell the truth. If they'd have told the truth about me, I wouldn't have told the truth about them. How does that make sense? Well, she was on heroin, now wasn't she? I didn't expose her dad first. Her dad hadn't done anything to me. He did shit to her. I wasn't there to see her dad rape her. I was only there to hear her talking about it. When I was trying to get Jamie to take a report, she couldn't make a report about how that phone got broken because she wasn't there. The boy was, and she wasn't going to have the boy fill out a police report. But she was willing to fill out a police report. She didn't, though. Neither did Todd Rust, who said that he would. I was good to Jamie despite all the shit that she put me through. But women are allowed to have emotions and men aren't. Women are allowed to destroy a man's life because they think he might do something. Meanwhile, when people are actually doing things to a man, he's told he needs to just man up. These people wouldn't fight me. They wouldn't fight me in court. They wouldn't fight me in real life. They kept offering to kill me, and they didn't. I tried to call 911 to let them know what was going on. Graham fucked that up. See, as soon as they call you mentally ill, or anything that sounds like it or seems like it, it makes it alright for the police not to take a report, for them to brush you off, treat you like it's not important, treat you like it's not happening. You can see that with Officer Jordan Anderson. Officer Jordan Anderson could have done something before Natalie died, too. He could have done something about Ted Bollinger and Alicia Bollinger, and he didn't. I documented this stuff on Facebook because the police refused to take a report from a homeless person. Police across the country victimize homeless people because The American public is taught to hate them by the media. Taught to hate them. Kids love me and dogs love me. Everywhere that I went, always. When Amy and Andrew Witcher asked me to babysit, it was a deal that we had made. They didn't have any money to pay me because Andrew was spending it all on meth. But they were willing to let me do the things that I needed to do as long as I babysat for them. But whenever it came time for them to keep their word, Andrew's twacked out of his goddamn mind, and he's having a nervous breakdown, and his wife needs to deal with that. Amy repeated some things that I had said to her, things that I had said 100 times. She was mad at me for turning Andrew in. Told me she didn't have a safe place to go. With Ken and Leah, with Leah's son. Yeah, I saw Ken assault that young man a couple of times. I had to weigh heavily whether or not telling the police was the right thing to do because the system fucking sucks. They would do a lot worse things to him in the system. And he's white. In the area that he was living in, he would have been the minority in the places that he went. And because he's autistic, they would have hurt him bad. Unlike me, that young man doesn't know the first thing about fighting. I'm very good at violence. I choose not to be violent. I hate violence. When I exposed Ted for the things that he did to Natalie, it's because I was trying to get the violence against me, the physical violence against me, to stop without violence. You consider screaming violence? Well, then Amanda's violent, and so is Lana. So is Miss Jerry. All these people who threw me away for begging them to kill me, I begged them to kill me because they wouldn't help me. Empty words after empty words.